سعد الدين الحريري رئيسا لمجلس الوزراء.
Good afternoon. You're watching the English newscast here on Future Television. I'm Linda Tamim, and these are today's headlines. At least 4 Israeli soldiers were killed and several more wounded after a truck rammed into the troops in East Jerusalem. In Iraq, at least 12 people were killed and 50 wounded in a car bomb blast in eastern Baghdad in an attack claimed by Daesh. And U.S. authorities charge U.S. Army veteran Esteban Santiago with offenses that could carry the death penalty following the deadly shooting rampage at the Fort Lauderdale airports. Information Minister Melhem Riashi says the issue of the suspended Saudi grant to the Lebanese army will be on the agenda of President Michel Aoun during his visit to Riyadh next week. Just a reminder that Saudi Arabia halted a $3 billion program of military aid to Lebanon last year to protest what it said was the stranglehold of Hezbollah on the state. Riashi, however, says he hopes the visit will reactivate the grant served to equip the army and the internal security forces. The minister will be part of the ministerial delegation that will accompany Aoun to Riyadh on Monday and Tuesday. Aoun's Arab tour will also take him to Qatar and Egypt. Heavy rain, thunderstorms, snowfall and low temperatures are expected this evening across Lebanon. A statement by the meteorological department at Beirut's International Airport says Storm Rend will see cold air masses hitting the eastern Mediterranean basin over the next 3 days. Weather across Lebanon will witness a temperature drop with wind speeds ranging between 80 and 90 kilometers per hour. And waves are expected to reach 4 meters high on coastal areas. On mountain areas, snowfall is expected to altitudes between 900 and 1,200 meters. A car bomb went off in a government-held area outside the Syrian capital Damascus, killing at least 5 people and wounding 15. The car bomb was detonated outside Sasa, southwest of Damascus. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says 3 members of military intelligence were among those killed. The Al-Qaeda-linked Fatah al-Sham front claimed responsibility for the attack. Elsewhere in the country, airstrikes resumed in Wadi Barada, a rebel-held valley near Damascus containing the Syrian capital's main water supply, a day after insurgents and the government failed to agree on a plan to repair the springs knocked out of service 2 weeks ago. More news coming up next after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching the English newscast here on Future Television. At least 12 people have been killed and 50 wounded in a car bomb blast in eastern Baghdad in an attack claimed by ISIL. Sources say the explosion hit the mainly Shia district of Jamila, the main wholesale vegetable market in Baghdad, lying in Sadr city, an area which has been repeatedly targeted. Turkish Prime Minister Bin Ali Yildirim has arrived in Erbil on the second leg of a trip to Iraq aimed at bolstering Ankara's role in the fight against ISIL. Yildirim's meeting with the head of Iraq's Kurdish region, Masoud Barzani, follows a meeting on Saturday with his Iraqi counterpart in Baghdad, aimed at overcoming differences between the two countries over Iraq's role in the battle to retake Mosul from ISIL. Yildirim is hoping his meeting with Barzani will enhance ties between Turkey and the Kurdistan regional government over 3 main issues: the fight against ISIL, trade, and Turkey's fight against Kurdish separatists led by the PKK. At least 4 Israeli soldiers were killed and several more wounded after a truck rammed into the troops in Jerusalem, with authorities calling it a deliberate attack. The driver of the attacking vehicle was reportedly shot dead following the incident. At least 10 soldiers were trapped under the truck but were later rescued, with 3 in critical condition. Moving on to Europe, a cold snap has swept through Greece, blanketing many regions in snow. disrupting transport and leaving parts of the country without power, with temperatures on the Greek islands expected to plummet over the next few days. The UNHCR has called on support from member states to quickly move asylum seekers from the Aegean islands to the Greek mainland.
Currently, the situation on Samos, Chios and Lesbos is particularly worrying. On Samos, around 700 people. This includes young children and other especially vulnerable individuals. These people are in unheated tents in the reception and information centre, while UNHCR and our partners have provided many hundreds of thermal blankets, sleeping bags, winter protection kits. It's clear that people would be better off on the mainland. The transferring of people from the islands to the Greek mainland is allowed only after people have completed the registration process or in cases of particular vulnerability. Slowness in registration or identifying of vulnerable individuals and previously problems with a shortage of space on the mainland have been factors delaying moves. We are appealing again to member states to respect their previous commitments and offer additional relocation spaces without delay.
U.S. authorities have charged a U.S. Army veteran accused in a deadly shooting rampage at the Fort Lauderdale International Airport with offenses that could carry the death penalty. While continuing to probe whether terrorism was a potential motive, federal prosecutors charged Esteban Santiago with firearms offenses and carrying out an act of violence. If convicted, he could face the death penalty or life in prison. Santiago, 26, was accused of killing five, wounding 6, and sending thousands scrambling for safety on Friday before authorities shut down the airport in Florida. A prison uprising early this morning has left at least 4 dead, adding to chaos in Brazil's penitentiary system that has seen almost 100 inmates killed in the past week in a gang war. The latest violence reportedly took place at the Desembargador Raimundo Vidal Pessoa jail in the center of the Amazonian city of Manaus. La La Land continued its domination of the Best Picture category for this award season by taking top prize at the 82nd New York Film Critics Circle Awards. Directed by Damien Chazelle, the musical love story of an inspiring actress and a jazz musician set in Los Angeles is considered an Oscar frontrunner this year. The movie is currently in theater across Lebanon, and here's the trailer for those of you who haven't seen it.
2 options. You either follow my rules or follow my rules. Capiche?
Thank you.
I can do it a different way.
No, that's fine. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're fired.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, I see the decorations. Good luck in the new year.
I just heard you play, and I wanted... It's pretty strange that we keep running into each other.
Maybe it means something.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so. You could just write your own roles, you know, write something that's as interesting as you are.
What are you gonna do?
At my own club.
Is that gonna happen every time? I think so.
How are you going to be a revolutionary if you're such a traditionalist? You're holding on to the past, but jazz is about the future.
Maybe I'm not good enough.
Yes, you are.
Maybe I'm not. It's like a pipe dream.
This is the dream. It's conflict and it's compromise. And it's very, very exciting.
This marks the end of our bulletin for today. Now for a recap of our top stories. At least 4 Israeli soldiers were killed and several others are wounded after a truck rammed into the troops in Jerusalem. At least 12 people are killed and 50 wounded in a car bomb blast in eastern Baghdad in an attack claimed by ISIL. And U.S. authorities charge U.S. Army veteran Esteban Santiago with offenses that could carry the death penalty following the deadly shooting rampage at the Fort Lauderdale International Airport. Those are your top stories for this Sunday. I'm Linda Tamim, and I thank you all for watching.
سعد الدين الحريري رئيسا لمجلس الوزراء.